Welcome back. As promised, let's bring Manisha in. She's got with her a roundup of all the commodity market action, and today she's focusing on wheat. Atta prices, Manisha?
Oh, well, yes, keep an eye on that because in winters you start eating more. But the point really being that, this year has been quite a whirlwind when it comes to wheat because it all started with wheat actually when you saw those export bans coming in the month of May, and it just percolated to all other agriculture commodities where the government did take a lot of actions on. What I am bringing to you is some good news because the international markets have seen a 4% decline in a week in case of wheat prices, and the Indian markets also seem to be stabilizing, consolidating, and that is because the latest data from the government shows that the Indian wheat sowing is nearly 10% higher as compared to previous year, and the higher prices clearly seem to be making that more possible. Ajay Goyal is director at Shivaji Flour Mills and he joins us on the show. Ajay, hi. Finally, do you think this 10% increase in Indian sowing as compared to last year seems to be doing the trick now?
So I think currently the market is on a pause mode because they are awaiting government announcements and scheme of sale under the open market. But this is definitely good news, higher acreage. And but what really affected or impacted the crop this year was the lower yield. So going forward, we'll have to be sure that the yield is good in the coming year. Although everywhere acreage reports are very encouraging.
Clearly. The other thing that the street is really watching out for is the government wheat stocks. And as per the latest numbers that we have, it says 21.04 million tons of a buffer stock is what government has. That whole back and forth on whether or not the government will release wheat in open markets, what are you hearing on that?
So we are all hopeful that the government will release about 3 to 4 million tons because that's the type of surplus that's estimated will be there by 1st April after taking into account all their government schemes and the requirements of the government. And that's what the market has come in for a sort of a pause currently because they are awaiting some sort of government announcement of sale. But if it doesn't come through by this week or the next week, the market could start rallying up again.
So, Ajay, what is the wheat price rise that we have seen until now in this year? We all know the new crop is, 4, 5, 6 months away even now. Until then, with what the open market or the millers or the private stockists have in hand and what the government has in hand, how do you match that availability and the demand?
So, a lot of numbers were floating around on the crop estimate, but definitely it's much lower than what even the market expected looking at the current supply scenario. And if you were to look at it from a March to now basis, we have rallied almost 30 to 35% as far as local pricing is concerned. Of course, the first rally took place because of exports, but now we have surpassed even that price because during the export times, the prices went up to 25, 26, but now it's like 26, 27. And now we're just hoping that the government does something in terms of release of stocks in the market through FCI or something.
Ajay, looking at both the scenarios, if the government does release, and that's another question on by when do they release, and if they do release, how much of a price correction are you then expecting? If they do not release, then what is happening to the prices?
It will depend since it will be an auction, and if prices really don't go up in the auction, then you could see the prices stabilizing at these levels or a small 2-3% correction. But if the quantum release is really, really small and a lot of people bid for it, and if the prices in the auction go up, I fear that even the open market prices might rally up.
And what is the kind of demand that you are seeing from the stockists, from the open market, from the FMCG companies as well? Has there been any change at all there? Is the asking price or the bid price changed there too?
So definitely the bid price is keeping in, the market prevailing. So definitely nobody is giving away at discount or nobody is getting away at a discount because, raw material supplies are not assured to anybody. But I think it has now become a totally spot market. Nobody is really wanting to cover far ahead because the government might release wheat any time in the next 10, 12 days. So keeping that expectation, the markets are currently at a standstill, at a pause.
All right. So clearly the raw material for the FMCGs has gone up by 30-35%, as you said, Ajay. Any news on imports front? Because that is another thing that the street was looking forward to.
No, so there's nothing on the import front, and that's just a mere talk. So there are some rumors going around that India might get some wheat from Russia on rupee payment, and but those are just newspaper reports, nothing concrete as far as we know.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thank you so much. Mr. Goyal, thanks a lot for joining us and taking us through your views on that space. We'll do one thing, we'll slip into a short break.